chapter 24. All these are the beginning of sorrows. When the Greek was analyzed, it came from an expression that meant birth pangs. Alright? Birth pangs. No birth pangs, how when they get to contractions? Contraction. Yeah. So it can be read like this. All these are the beginning of the contractions. Yes? As a woman about to give birth. But you know, sometimes, if you are familiar with these things, you know about something called Braxton Hicks. When you start getting pains and you think that it's going to happen, but it's not happening yet. Sometimes you go to the hospital and they send you back home. And they say you're not ready yet. This was the expression that Jesus was using here. After all the stuff that is happening, these are just the beginning of the contraction. But if we go to the next verse, which is verse 9, so verse 9 says, so I trusted that my wife, alright, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. You see a special word in the middle there? Deliver. So when you go to you having that birth experience and you go to the hospital, do you know where they carry you? In the small one, what room? The delivery room. The delivery room. And I am telling you that, I want to tell you that I've had the experience in the delivery room twice. The first time I experienced the delivery room, it was so unfamiliar, even to the doctor that came in and nurses that were there. At one time, they thought that I was part of the folks who supposed to be helping out with the delivery, right? And the doctor came in and started moving with dispatch and setting up stuff and putting the IV and different things and so on. And she said something in a language that I did not understand, but it meant to put whatever it was in there. And I looked at her because they had me suited up, right? Because I had to be rude. And she made a little round and she came back and then she inquired why haven't I done it yet? And before I could answer, I said, well, what? I was about to say, well, what do you mean? And then she said, you don't know. And then one of the nurses said, where's your father? And then she said, oh. And then everything changed. Everybody started moving different. With a certain kind of caution. With a certain type of stuff. It was really gentle with my wife. And all the sorts. Because Father. We'll come back to that experience a little later. Because the Father is present. He's there. The Father is there. But all these birth pangs, all these things that are happening and so on, is heading towards the delivery. Now Now, if you look at what the delivery is, it's kind of even more discouraging. Because if the contractions could be painful and so on, have you breathing heavily and so on, can you imagine what the actual delivery would be? Well, I guess all mothers here don't have to imagine, right? You already know. I hear Sister was saying you don't have to. But for the younger ones and for the fathers, can you imagine what it would be? I know I was there. And I even made a vow while I was there. I said, I am not going through this again. And it wasn't even me. And, well, sure enough, I was there again. And this time I thought I was more prepared. But the situation was slightly different. And so I guess you could never be prepared. The only thing you can rest assured in is that you are in good care. Yes. And we will get to that a little later on. But let's look at the delivery a little. Amanda read the palms for us. Because Jesus said, all these are the beginning of sorrows.